There's been a lot of noise about secret UFO bases recently, especially after someone called Danny Sheehan, who of course is kind of a UFO whistleblower, I suppose, came forward to talk about the different places and, the locations of alleged UFO locations and bases of UFOs. Now, this is a pretty big deal, and it got me kind of spiraling on a little bit of research on some other places where it's believed that there are UFOs and, the alleged witness footage and camera footage and witnesses that have come forward about it. It's pretty, this runs really, really deep. But to begin with, I want to show you this clip that is circulating around online of Danny Sheehan talking about the locations of UFO bases.
Bases here on our planet, many of which are located high in the desolate areas in the mountains where very few people ever go, and beneath the sea. There's a major base in the Pacific that we're virtually certain exists off Baja, between Baja and Guadalupe Island, potentially beneath the ocean floor. This has been monitored. We have hundreds of videos of the vehicles coming and going from that location and plunging into the sea and going down into and coming from this base. This is extraordinarily important for everyone to understand. Very importantly, there is some percentage inside our national security state apparatus that knows this to be true.
Now, obviously, that's pretty crazy, isn't it? The whole idea of that is pretty crazy, especially when you think about these USO kind of bases, unidentified submergible objects, and it's kind of scary all at the same time. I mean, he talks there about having hundreds of videos and stuff like this of objects coming and going. We've never seen those videos. Of course, he doesn't actually provide the evidence to back that up. We just have to take his word for it, which for me isn't concrete enough. Regardless of who you are, you could be the best credited person on the planet. For me, show me the smoking gun. You know what I mean? But it got me researching a lot of different places. Apparently got UFOs, USOs, bases, and, alien bases that have been reported over the decades. So the first place that really sprung out to me was obviously Antarctica. Now, there have been some theories that propose hidden alien bases beneath the ice, even citing unexplained phenomena from satellite images. Now, obviously, Antarctica is a no-fly zone. Not many people are actually allowed to go there. There was a lot of stuff. Buzz Aldrin once went there, on an expedition. And then apparently there was some kind of crazy stuff that he witnessed, but people believe he was sworn to secrecy about it. But, there was a weird satellite image that was taken that kind of looked like a crashed UFO at one point. And this is the only real footage that I could really find. It was from the History Channel during one of their documentaries.
In October of 2020, a sharp-eyed investigator scanned satellite images of Antarctica and comes across a site that stops author Brad Olson in his digital tracks. It's a metallic-looking object half covered in ice. Look closer. It sure seems to be a raised disc casting a shadow onto the ice. Olson thinks that as the ice melts, an alien spacecraft has emerged from where it was left thousands of years ago. But what alien would park their ride in such a hostile place?
Antarctica and Mars are both extremely sterile environments. If I were a Martian and I wanted to choose a place on Earth to live, Antarctica, it'd be the closest thing to home I could find.
I mean, obviously, it's just speculation, but there's a lot of people that run with this theory, especially after the pyramids were also allegedly found, from Google satellite images and stuff like this in Antarctica. It really got the ball rolling with people thinking, wow, there might be something to this Antarctica story. Now, obviously, another place is Area 51. Area 51, if you ask anybody, whether they're an alien buff or, whether they're just they've heard about the topic, if you say to them, where do you think aliens would be? Their first place would probably be Area 51. But this whole story goes a lot deeper, especially when Lad Bible featured an article not too long ago, actually, back in August of this year, which stated that first ever body cam footage from inside Area 51 shows a couple getting deeper than anyone's ever got, right? And the footage is pretty damning. Obviously, this is Area 51 here, okay? It is a no-go zone. It's a huge tourist attraction, but you're not allowed to go there. And if you do get as far as the gates, or you get further than the gates, obviously it becomes quite an alarming situation, because, you know, you literally get like met by police, and armed, you know, not even police, but military officers who will just escort you off the area ASAP. But, like I say, this couple have got body cam footage going deeper inside Area 51 than anyone has ever made it. Take a look at this. This is crazy.
The small talk carries on as the second citation is being generated.
I love that. So, the sound of freedom. Well, when we have the sonic booms in Alamo, and it always scares us, sound of freedom. That's right. Sound of freedom. I joke with my wife and say I want to move to Rachel, and she'll say, well, if you want a divorce, that's a good way to get one.
With a population of somewhere in the mid-40s, Rachel, Nevada is on the border of Area 51. Because of this, it gets its share of tourists.
So these guys, they're out of Florida now, but they're originally from Washington.
Yep, I've been up there. We used to go up there when I was out of Fort Lewis. We used to use their underwater demolition range.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of folks that would love to get over on the other side of those hills over there and take a look at what's going on. And it's just none of their business. And I think some of the stuff that helps us out too is just the mystique of the place.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'll keep that going as long as I can.
The deputy exits his vehicle, citations in hand. And unfortunately, he has even more bad news for the couple.
So, all right. Here's your licenses and your registration back. So, like I said earlier, you're both being issued a citation for trespassing on military installation in Lincoln County. It's a $640 fine. Okay. Your court date is September 21st, 10 a.m. The Alamo Justice Court. You do not have to appear in court. You just need to pay. If you need to break it up or anything, you can break it up and make payment arrangements with the court.
Okay, great.
Okay. And it's the same for both. Same court date. The address, phone number is written here for the court.
Okay.
So give it a couple days and contact the court if you want to. You do have the right to a trial and all that. So if you're, so I just want you to know that that is your right.
I appreciate
to contest it. So
it was our bad.
Well, I appreciate your cooperation. And
The woman says it was our bad.
So they literally got deeper than anyone ever has when it comes to getting into Area 51. And, they were then caught, issued a citation, $640 fine, and then just literally moved them on their way. It's pretty crazy that, that they managed to get that far, because usually you don't get more than a few feet in before the cameras catch you and you've got jeeps rolling out to your location. Obviously they wanted to know what was going on. They weren't getting anything out of the officer when they got there. Interesting stuff, isn't it? But obviously the next location that really kind of popped up on my radar was off-world. It was actually Mars. Now, Mars has always been this kind of stigmatized place, hasn't it? The Martians are a typical term for aliens. Martians, we've got the rover going around on Mars, which has sent back some very interesting photography. If you ask NASA what it is, they'll tell you that it's just rock formations and debris, right? But obviously, when you partner the photos that I'm going to give you now with the fact that we have found that it was possible for life to be sustained on Mars at one point because of canals and dried up water beds and stuff like this, it proves that there would have been water on Mars at some point. Or at least ice, which of course, is a derivative of water. And, it would have been able to sustain life at one point or another. But when you look at these images, okay, obviously this one doesn't look like too much, but it does look like a head popping up. That's what many people have said. I do think that this one's just a rock. If you look at the other rocks around Mars, this one does look just a bit like a rock, but we're not going to stop there. If you look at this one, obviously, this was captured from the Mars rover, and it does look like some kind of creature walking. It looks like it's got an arm. It looks like it's got legs. It looks like it's got a head and a torso. It looks very humanoid. Obviously, this is it just down here. That's as far as I can zoom in. But you can see it here, and enhanced, this is what it looks like. You know, obviously, incredibly strange stuff. And bear in mind, this is coming back from a rover. So, you know, interesting stuff. And then you look at this one as well. This looks like some kind of pyramid formation. Now, when you think of aliens and you think of UFOs and alien bases, let's go back to Antarctica. There were pyramid formations found which everybody believes could potentially be homing aliens. And we heard it from, you know, the scientist on the History Channel from the very first clip that we showed. If you were going to be, like, if you were a Martian coming from Mars and you wanted similar conditions, Antarctica would be the place you go. Antarctica's got pyramids, and from the looks of this, so does Mars. Very interesting. Maybe they're making themselves a home from home. But, again, that's not where it ends. There's other strange kind of, what is believed to be rock formations have also appeared. Obviously, you know, it looks like it could be some kind of lizard creature. You know, you think you've got like the bearded neck here. You've got like the forelimbs, the head, the tail, the torso, body. It begs the question, is it fossilized? Who actually knows? But it just adds fuel to the fire and the ever-growing speculation that there are aliens on Mars and that there could be, you know, these could just be remnants of aliens on Mars, or there could genuinely be aliens on Mars. No one actually knows. But another one, obviously, when you think of aliens and UFOs, you think USA. But there is a place closer to home called the Rendlesham Forest in the UK, which is in Suffolk, right? And it's the site of a famous 1980s UFO incident near an RAF base called RAF Woodbridge, which led to speculations about secret alien interactions going on within that area. Now, a YouTuber by the name of Joe Weller, who is usually a very jovial YouTuber, actually did an investigation over at in Rendlesham Forest. But what was really particularly interesting about this investigation was there is like this UFO recreation of what was described to be seen in the 1980s. But when they went to take a photo with this craft, even though it's a recreation, something very, very interesting happened. Take a look at this.
In my mind's eye.
After establishing that this was the exact location where the officers saw the UFO, we thought it would be a good idea to get a thumbnail photo next to the UFO reconstruction.
I wonder though, would it be worth taking a flash photo?
Yeah.
I think that might work better.
What happens next? I can't work it out. Right? Have a look.
Let me have a look what it's saying. Sorry, look at this. Wait. What's this then? By the signs.
Bear with it.
What is that?
Now, before you go commenting that this is just a lens flare, just bear with it. Just hold your horses, wait for them, because they go over a lot of stuff. You might be wrong.
It's not... That's not like a moth, is it?
No. Sorry.
What the fuck? What is it? Is it... Wait, go on, shine it. There's nothing
But look
there.
at the other photo. It's not in the other photo.
Wait. You and me? Wait. Oh my god. What the fuck, mate? That's not right.
What?
And then it's gone.
Yeah.
No way. No way. It's like a little figure. I don't even know.
It's like a little bit of energy. I can't, because I don't know, mate. I really don't know. That's almost like something's floating like here.
That's so weird, mate. If that was something that just flew in front of the camera, that would be totally blown out and all blurred. Like, wait, it's far too detailed to be something that's right in front of the lens, which is where it'd have to be lit up like that. That is next to the craft, mate.
It's got too much of like a solid edge.
Yeah. Mate, that's fucking weird.
It's like a little puff of smoke or something.
Yeah,
isn't it?
like, what the fuck is that? Now, I've put this in Photoshop to see if I can adjust the highlights and brightness, etc. to see what it looks like. And as you can see, it's more solid in the middle and goes like translucent round the edges. I can't think of a bug or fly that looks like that. Now, for what makes this even weirder.
Well, you'd only describe as children at that time. I wasn't the only one that did it. Some other people said I thought these were children. And they had 4.5 feet tall, above the ground, very bright, translucent at points. You couldn't see the lower extremities, but you could clearly see the face, and it wasn't human.
It begs the question of, did Joe Weller genuinely catch something strange here on camera? Is it just a lens flare? Is it just a bug? Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. But there is one final place that we want to talk about. Obviously, Danny Sheehan spoke about the Guadalupe Island, right? Which is believed to hold some kind of USO underwater base for aliens. He said that he's got seen lots of footage of objects leaving and going to this place. Obviously, that information hasn't been brought forward. It hasn't been provided to the public. But, you know, there's claims that suggest that an underwater alien base is actually near this island, with numerous UFO sightings reported in this area. So, you know, this person does a really good breakdown of the Danny Sheehan kind of topic, but then you get to see where the base actually is.
Harvard law graduate has came out and said he knows the exact location of an alien base where hundreds of UFOs are stored, and that the U.S. government knows about it and has been monitoring it. Daniel Sheehan is a 79-year-old Harvard law graduate, and he gave a speech for this New Paradigm Institute, which is his research institute, and they research UFOs, UAPs, things like that. But he said off the coast of California, there is a small island called Guadalupe, and it's a volcanic island, and that's where the UFOs are living, and that the U.S. government had USS Nimitz stationed there to watch the UFOs go in and out of the water. Let's dig into that. The USS Nimitz was actually stationed in San Diego right here on this blue dot from 2001 until 2012. Now that's less than 300 miles away from this supposed alien base. Also less than 300 feet from where the USS Nimitz was stationed was Santa Catalina Island. Now this is where the Tic Tac UFO was seen exiting the water by the USS Nimitz. Now this prompted Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet, who is retired now, to investigate the oceans for UFOs and UAPs. He had a good buddy of his, basically, scan the ocean floor around Santa Catalina Island to see what he could find. Near Santa Catalina Islands, Tim and his friend found an unnatural ridge in the ocean floor that goes on for over a mile long. Keep in mind, this is less than 300 miles away from the supposed UFO alien base. So we have the volcanic island that supposedly has the alien base underneath it. We have the USS Nimitz stationed in San Diego until 2012. Now it is stationed up in Washington, but still on the coast. And then we have Santa Catalina Island, which has been a hotbed for UFOs and for the Tic Tac sighting. All of these are within 300 miles of each other. I don't know. I think Harvard man telling the truth.
This is pretty crazy. I mean, obviously, like I say, I still want to see the smoking gun, but everything seems to make sense. And if you kind of put this into Google Maps, it really does paint a picture of whereabouts in the world it is. And it's a prime real estate for aliens to move in. Take a look at this. So that is reportedly some kind of black mass that was captured by satellite imagery on Google Images. Now, whether that's real or not, I'll leave that down to you guys to decide. But what do you think? Are there genuine alien bases here on planet Earth, or even in our very own galaxy? Let me know what you think down in the comments below while you're down there. Jump to get the hell out of that like button. Are there any notorious UFO bases that I missed? Maybe I could do a part 2 to this. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below while you're down there. Jump to get the hell out of that like button. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.